Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the third episode on DVT TV. My name is Lisa Lane. I'm an 18-time blood clot survivor. When I say DVT, that's what it means, is a blood clot. I have had 17 blood clots in my legs, 2 in the right leg, 15 in the left leg, and then almost 4 years ago, I had a complete blockage of my left ventricle caused by a blood clot. So I had a cardiac event caused by a blood clot. That's all in my story. I know tonight I've been pumping up our episode on compression stockings, and I am so excited. That episode is finished. I'm so excited to bring it to you. However, I got a little surprise this week from the third member of the Tennessee trio. So you've seen my story. You've seen Sarah, my friend Sarah, who is also an NBCA Thrombassador from Virginia, originally from Tennessee. And then tonight, you are going to see an incredible story from an incredible person. She is from the Nashville area. Again, there's a common bond there with the state of Tennessee. And her name is Jacarra Lampkin. And Jacarra is, to meet Jacarra, she has got the best personality, outlook, spirit. And you're gonna, again, hear a couple of similar themes to my story and to Sarah's story. Jacarra was young, very young. She had just started birth control. Like in my story, I had just become pregnant. And so Jacarra is a fellow Thrombassador for the National Blood Clot Alliance. I met her while we were at Capitol Hill Day. And Sarah, her, and myself just hit it off. We were together most of the day because you're grouped by regions and you go from representative to representative to representative and senator. And the more that I got to know these two ladies, the more respect and love that I have for them. Jacarra experienced a blood clot in her brain when she was young. Again, an athlete just like Sarah and myself. So again, it's kind of one of those things like, why? You know? Sarah and Jacarra, neither one have genetic factors that have come back as being positive. So this is not passed in their genetics. Like mine is a genetic blood disorder. And a couple of other things that put you at greater risk for clotting. Antiphospholipid syndrome, protein C, protein S deficiency, and also polycythemia. Those are my diagnoses, but they didn't have those genetic links. So Jacarra is a huge advocate for the NBCA, for blood clots, for women's health, but also for African American health. As I said in an earlier video, April is African American Maternal Health Month. And the rates of African American women experiencing a DVT during or postpartum 6 weeks after pregnancy are astronomical compared to any other group. So that's what we're all trying to figure out. Why, you know? Is it genetics? Is it medical care? What is it, you know? So Jacarra talks a little bit about that in her story. I apologize for the quality of the video. Getting video from one person to another person to YouTube is sometimes tricky. But I am so thankful and grateful to Jacarra for sharing her story and sharing about her advocacy work. as our president, volunteer president, Leslie Lake, and I talked about on the phone and when we were in Nashville a couple of weeks ago, is that we are an army. It takes an army. Because each one of us have our little niche that we understand, that we've been through. But from a personal perspective, Jacarra and Sarah are so important to me. The Thrombassadors as a whole, the National Blood Clot Alliance as a whole is so important to me, because I don't know where I would have found the resources and the support even prior to being a Thrombassador without them. So again, it is www.stoptheclot.org. That is their website. I'll post it in the description. And I am just so thankful and blessed and grateful to that organization, to Sarah, to Leslie Lake, our president, but then also for Jacarra for sharing her story tonight, because I think you all, if you take the time to listen, you're going to get so much out of it. Again, like I have said in every episode that I have either told my story or I have introduced the story, we are all sitting ducks. You do not have to have a genetic predisposition for clotting. People being treated for cancer, people in the hospital, people that drive for long periods of time or fly for long periods of time, sedentary lifestyles, smoking, pregnancy, blood clots. Yes, those increase your risk, but anyone can develop a blood clot. And it kills an American every 6 minutes. So you think about that. In the time that I have introduced this story, one person has already died. When you think about it like that, it is staggering. And those are old numbers, so we don't know what the new figures are going to give us. But with help from House of Representative Congresswoman Lisa Rochester in New York, through her bill, through Emily's Act in Florida and Tennessee, with us trying to pass Lane's Law, Illinois is pushing for the same bill. New York is very, very close to having their bill go through as well. So we've got 4 states right now that are pushing for legislation. Florida's already got it. So we've got 3 states that are pushing for legislation to monitor and provide surveillance for blood clot and blood clot patients. We now have our first hospital of excellence in the state of Illinois, I believe, that was announced last week. So it takes an army. I cannot do this by myself, nor would I want to. So the people at the National Blood Clot Alliance, Stephanie, Taryn, Leslie, Teresa, I'm sure I'm forgetting so many people that give us the resources, the tools, and the motivation to keep going and fighting this. I am forever in their debt. So this is Jacarra's story. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. And this one's called When.
Hello, I'm Jacarra. I'm 30 years old, and 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with blood clots in my brain. At the time, I was taking birth control pills, and that caused the blood clots. I have no idea how they got to my brain, but they did. At the time, I didn't think I was at risk for blood clots. I was young. I've always been active. I'm an athlete. I work out. I eat right, and it still happened to me. So I'm here to definitely spread awareness of the symptoms, because I had no idea at the time. The first symptom that I had, and probably the worst, was my headache. I had the worst headache of my life. Loss of appetite, loss of feeling on one side of my body, weakness on one side of my body is a better way to put it. Loss of appetite. I was also confused, and also my eyes were crossing, and so that prompted me to visit my eye doctor, and he prompted me to go to the ER to get my head scanned. So here to spread awareness about blood clots and how it can happen to anyone, no matter who you are, where you're from, or your background.